We've all had that moment. You're bundled up in your thickest winter sweater, yet you still feel a chill. Or worse, you feel warm enough, but when you catch your reflection, you see a shapeless silhouette that doesn't feel like you at all. This is the classic winter dilemma, the battle between staying warm and looking chic. For many women over 50, it often feels like we're forced to sacrifice one for the other. But what if I told you the solution isn't about buying better clothes, but about mastering a better technique? In this video, I'm going to give you a masterclass on the art of layering. We'll go beyond just putting on clothes and dive into the 4 essential rules that address both the science of warmth and the art of creating a flattering silhouette. You'll learn how to look slimmer, feel warmer, and create polished, intentional outfits every day. If you're ready to become a layering expert, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get started. Rule #1: the power of 3 thin layers. Alright, let's begin our masterclass with the most foundational rule, the one that will fundamentally change how you approach winter dressing: the power of 3 thin layers. Picture this: it's a beautiful, crisp winter morning. You put on your thickest, chunkiest knit sweater, feeling confident you've conquered the cold. But by midday, you feel a slight dampness, and by the time the afternoon chill sets in, you're colder than you expected. This happens because we've been taught a fashion myth that thickness equals warmth. The truth, backed by textile science, is far more elegant. The real secret to staying warm isn't bulk. It's the air trapped between multiple, thinner layers. Air is one of nature's most effective insulators, and a strategic 3-layer system can be up to 30% more effective at keeping you warm than a single heavy garment. Think of it like the insulation in your home. It's the fluffy material full of air that keeps you warm, not a solid brick. This personal climate control system all begins with the most critical and often overlooked piece: your base layer. Think of this as your second skin. Its primary purpose isn't just to add warmth, but to manage moisture. A dry body is a warm body. Your skin is always releasing moisture vapor, and if that vapor gets trapped in your clothing, it will steal your body heat at an alarming rate. Water pulls heat away from the body 25 times faster than dry air. This means choosing smart fabrics like superfine merino wool, which is nature's performance fabric, capable of absorbing moisture vapor without feeling wet to the touch. Another luxurious choice is silk, which has an incredible thermal rating for its weight and feels wonderful against the skin. While knowing what to wear is important, knowing what to avoid is absolutely crucial. The cardinal sin of winter layering, and the one mistake I implore you to stop making, is wearing cotton. Cotton is a cold trap. It can absorb up to 27 times its weight in water and holds onto it, creating a cold, clammy layer against your skin. I learned this lesson the hard way on a work trip to Chicago in November. The biting wind wasn't the problem. The problem was the chill that settled deep into my bones because my cute cotton turtleneck was holding a faint dampness against me all day. It's a mistake you only make once. What's the coldest you've ever felt because you wore the wrong thing? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Once your base layer is managing moisture, it's time to add your personal furnace, the mid-layer. This is your primary insulating layer, the one whose job is to create loft, a fluffy, air-filled space that traps the body heat radiating off your base layer. This is also your main style piece. The unparalleled warmth to weight of cashmere comes from the fine, hollow fibers of a goat's undercoat, making it the ultimate luxurious insulator. A thin down vest, with a quality 600 to 800 fill power, can also provide incredible warmth without bulk. The beauty of this layer is its versatility. When you walk from the cold outside into a warm cafe, you can simply remove your outer coat and still look perfectly and stylishly dressed in your beautiful sweater. With your furnace working to trap heat, you need a shield to protect it. That brings us to the final piece of the system, your outer layer. This is your armor against the elements, and it has two main jobs: blocking wind and repelling precipitation. Wind strips away your layer of warm air, so a densely woven wool cashmere coat is your best defense, as its tight weave is naturally wind-resistant. For wet climates, a classic trench coat made from water-resistant gabardine is essential. My longline wool cashmere coat has been my trusted companion for over a decade, shielding me everywhere from business meetings in New York to Christmas markets in Germany. What is the one outer layer in your closet that you feel you can conquer the world in? So there you have it, the complete engineering blueprint for your own personal climate control system. You now have the science to stay perfectly warm and comfortable in any weather. But mastering the science is only half the battle. Now, we must become the architects of our own style. Because a woman who is warm is comfortable, but a woman who is both warm and stylish is truly confident. This is where engineering gives way to art. And it all begins with our second golden rule, the beautiful symphony of textures. Rule #2. The symphony of textures. Now that you have the engineering blueprint for staying perfectly warm and comfortable, it's time to become the architect of your own style. Because a woman who is warm is comfortable, but a woman who is both warm and stylish is truly confident. This is where the science of layering gives way to the art of dressing, and it all begins with our second golden rule, the symphony of textures. Think of a beautiful orchestra. What makes the music so rich is not one instrument playing loudly, but the harmony of many different instruments. The smooth call of a violin against the rich depth of a cello. A truly stylish outfit works the same way. Texture is the secret weapon that stylish women use to create visual interest and depth, especially when working with a neutral, sophisticated color palette. It's how you can wear head-to-toe black or shades of cream and beige and look incredibly dynamic and intentional rather than flat or boring. It's about creating a feast for the eyes and the touch. I truly learned this lesson on a trip to Paris years ago. I noticed that the chicest women on the streets weren't wearing wild patterns or bright, jarring colors. They were wearing simple, elegant silhouettes in shades of navy, charcoal, and black. But their outfits were never, ever boring. The secret was always in the mix. The subtle sheen of a silk scarf against the matte texture of a wool coat. The smooth grain of a leather handbag resting against a chunky knit dress. It was a quiet masterclass in the power of subtlety. Let's break down a few classic duets that you can incorporate into your wardrobe right away. First is the most timeless combination, smooth plus knit. This is the pairing of a lustrous, light-reflecting fabric like silk or satin with a soft, light-absorbing one like cashmere or merino wool. The contrast is what creates the magic. Picture a classic cream cashmere sweater. It's beautiful on its own. But now imagine the collar of a silk blouse in a slightly richer champagne tone peeking out from the neckline, the delicate cuffs extending just a fingertip's length beyond the sweater's sleeves. Suddenly the outfit has life, dimension, and a sense of deliberate luxury. This same principle works beautifully with a satin slip skirt paired with a simple merino wool sweater. The interplay between the two fabrics as you walk is simply stunning. Next, we have a combination I call the power play, leather plus wool. This pairing is all about balancing strength with softness. Leather has a refined, smooth surface with a subtle edge, while wool is traditional, comforting, and soft. Together, they create an outfit that feels both confident and approachable. This is my personal go-to for a day when I need to feel polished but not overly formal, like a gallery visit or a chic lunch. The easiest way to wear this is with a pair of sleek leather leggings or trousers, balanced by a longer tunic-style cashmere sweater. The softness of the wool drapes beautifully over the structured leather, creating a very flattering silhouette. Interactive question. I'm so curious, are you a fan of incorporating leather into your wardrobe? Let me know how you like to style it. Finally, there's the art of the high-low mix. Denim plus something soft and luxurious. This is the secret to looking effortlessly cool on a casual weekend. It's about taking a hard-working, utilitarian fabric like denim and pairing it with something opulent and tactile, like faux fur, shearling, or velvet. This combination makes the luxurious piece feel more relaxed and approachable, while making your everyday denim feel more special and elevated. A classic example is a plush faux fur vest worn over a simple denim or chambray shirt. It's unexpected, chic, and incredibly comfortable. It sends a message that you have exquisite taste, but you don't take yourself too seriously. But even the most beautiful symphony of layers and textures can fall flat if the silhouette isn't right. You can be warm, you can be interesting, but you also want to look your absolute best. That brings us to the most crucial rule of all for not looking bulky, the one that truly separates the amateurs from the pros. Rule #3, the game of proportions. But even the most beautiful symphony of layers and textures can fall flat if the silhouette isn't right. You can be warm, you can be interesting, but you also want to look your absolute best. That brings us to the most crucial rule of all for not looking bulky, the one that truly separates the amateurs from the pros. If you only remember one thing from this entire video, let it be this. We're now ready for rule #3, the game of proportions. Think of yourself as an architect building a beautiful structure. You don't just pile materials on top of each other, you create a form with a strong foundation and a clear focal point. Dressing your body is exactly the same. The principle is simple. You must always balance the volume of your outfit. There are 2 golden keys to unlocking this. The first key is creating a streamlined core. The rule is fitted under loose. When your inner layers, your base layer and your mid layer are closer to the body, you create a defined shape underneath. This streamlined foundation gives any looser outer layers something to hang from rather than just adding bulk to bulk. Let me paint a picture. Imagine wearing a chunky, loose-fitting sweater under an already oversized wool coat. The result? You've lost all definition. The eye doesn't know where to look, and your shape becomes a single, bulky rectangle. Now, let's make one simple change. Swap that chunky sweater for a slim-fitting merino wool turtleneck. Suddenly, even under the very same oversized coat, your look is transformed. The coat now drapes elegantly because it's framing a defined silhouette underneath. You have your shape back. This is the foundation of looking chic, not shapeless when you layer. The second key, and this is the one that every stylist lives by, is to always define your waist. Your waist is typically the narrowest part of your torso, and by drawing the eye to it, you create an instant hourglass effect, no matter your body shape. It is the architectural focal point of your outfit. Forgetting this step is the fastest way to look frumpy. But luckily, it's incredibly easy to do. You can do it with a simple French tuck, just tucking the very front of your cashmere sweater into your trousers. This small gesture creates a visual break, defines your waistline, and has the added benefit of making your legs look longer. It's a low-effort, high-impact trick that I use almost daily. Another powerful tool is a great belt. A simple, slim leather belt worn over a cardigan or a fine-gauge knit sweater can instantly pull your entire look together and create a beautiful shape. Or even easier, choose an outer layer that does the work for you. A classic trench coat or a belted wool wrap coat is designed specifically for this purpose. I have a simple black knit dress that is quite straight on its own. Unbelted, it's comfortable but not remarkable. The moment I add a simple tan leather belt, the entire outfit transforms. It goes from being just a dress to being a look. That is the power of a defined waist. Interactive question. What is your favorite way to define your waist? Are you a fan of the French tuck, a classic belt, or do you let your coat do the work? So remember these architectural principles. Build on a streamlined foundation with fitted inner layers, and always create a focal point by defining your waist. You now have the complete blueprint for building a warm, interesting, and flattering layered look. You've created a masterpiece. But even a masterpiece needs the perfect frame to truly shine. That brings us to our final, and perhaps most fun, rule where we add those strategic finishing touches that complete the picture. Rule #4, the finishing touch. You now have the complete blueprint for building a warm, interesting, and flattering layered look. You've created a masterpiece. But even a masterpiece needs the perfect frame to truly shine. That brings us to our final, and perhaps most fun, rule where we add those strategic finishing touches that complete the picture. This is what separates an outfit that is simply put on from one that is intentionally styled. These are not afterthoughts. They are essential components of the system. There are two non-negotiable accessories that I consider part of this final rule. The first is the unsung hero of winter, a beautiful oversized scarf or wrap. Its role is twofold. First, the practical purpose. It's your personal thermostat and draft stopper. A significant amount of body heat is lost through the neck and chest area if left exposed. A soft scarf seals that gap, trapping the warm air system we so carefully built with our 3 layers. But more importantly, the scarf serves an artistic purpose. It is the final instrument in our symphony of textures, the easiest way to introduce a stroke of personality, a pop of color, or a timeless pattern to your neutral canvas. Think about our elegant camel coat and cream sweater combination. It's chic. But now drape a large, soft scarf in a rich burgundy plaid or a sophisticated herringbone pattern over it. Suddenly, the outfit has a story. It has a focal point. It draws the eye upward toward your face, which is always the goal. It feels complete. The second finishing touch is the anchor of your entire silhouette, the tall boot. This isn't just about footwear. This is a powerful tool for proportion correction. Remember how we just discussed balancing volume in our game of proportions? A common mistake that can undo all our hard work is choosing the wrong shoe. An ankle boot, for many women, creates a harsh horizontal line that visually chops the leg, making you appear shorter, the last thing you want when you have more volume up top from your layers. A tall, knee-high boot does the exact opposite. It creates one long, seamless vertical line from the knee down, whether you're wearing it with a skirt or over a slim-fitting pair of trousers or jeans. This powerful vertical line visually counteracts the horizontal bulk of your layers, making your entire silhouette appear longer and leaner. I've seen so many women put together a beautiful layered look, only to have the entire effect fall apart at the ankle. For years, I struggled with this myself until I had a light bulb moment. My knee-high boots weren't just for dresses. They were the secret to making all my layered winter outfits look polished and intentional. Interactive question. Are you a loyal tall boot person, or have you been sticking to ankle boots? After hearing this, are you tempted to make a switch this season? And there you have it. The 4 golden rules to layering like a true style expert. It's a complete system. The science of the 3 thin layers to keep you warm. The art of the symphony of textures to keep you interesting. The architecture of the game of proportions to keep you looking flattering. And the final polish of the finishing touches to bring it all together. Once you master this system, it will change your relationship with winter dressing forever. Now, to see how this all comes together in a real-life story, I want to tell you about a wonderful client of mine named Barbara. When she first came to me, she felt defeated by winter. Her daily uniform from November to March was a big, black, shapeless puffer coat worn over a bulky sweater and jeans. She told me, "I feel like I'm hiding inside my clothes, just waiting for spring." She was warm, but she felt completely invisible and uninspired. We didn't start by buying a new coat. We started with her foundation, introducing her to the magic of merino wool base layers. Then, we replaced her bulky sweaters with elegant, fine-gauge cashmere knits, her mid-layers. We found beautiful textures that made her feel luxurious. The real breakthrough, however, was when we applied the rule of proportions. We simply tucked the front of her sweater into her trousers and added a slim leather belt. The change was instantaneous. When she finally put on a beautiful, tailored wool coat, her new outer shield, the woman who emerged wasn't just warmer, she was radiant. She walked differently. She carried herself with a newfound confidence. A few weeks later, she called me laughing and said she had received more compliments on her style in 1 week than she had in the past 10 winters combined. Barbara's story is the perfect illustration of what we've learned today. It all comes down to those 4 golden rules. The science of the 3 thin layers for warmth. The art of the symphony of textures for interest. The architecture of the game of proportions for a flattering silhouette. And the elegance of the finishing touches to complete the look. Because ultimately, staying warm is a science, the science of trapping air between layers. But looking stylish is an art, the art of combining textures and defining your shape. When you master both, you don't just survive winter, you own it. And now, I would love to continue this conversation with all of you. What is your single biggest layering challenge during the winter? Please share it in the comments below. I read everyone, and your stories and questions help our entire community. If you found this masterclass helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss our next style session together. Until next time, stay warm and stay stylish.